being a tetralogy flow patient, I've worked a lot with the cardiologists here at Memorial, Joe DiMaggio. All the doctors, all the nurses are absolutely amazing. And then after getting pregnant and needing the support of the thoracic surgeons,
she was pregnant, and she came in with this problem of hemoptysis, which means she was coughing out blood. We eventually discovered that the bleeding was coming from a particular part of her lung because of abnormal blood vessels that are weak, most likely related to her congenital heart disease and the abnormal plumbing in her chest between her heart and her lungs. It was not going to stop. And so we wound up doing surgery to remove that part of her lung. That went well, she recovered well, and baby and mom were healthy. And that was the last I heard of her, at least so I thought. So she came back, she was pregnant again and coughing up blood again. And we'd already done one operation on her lungs. We really weren't very interested in taking out more of her lung unless we absolutely had to. So there was a lot of multidisciplinary involvement, really the pinnacle of having lots of different specialists, not just using their brains to help figure it out, but actually physically being there and able to act on a moment's notice to make sure that baby and mom were safe.
The idea of the multidisciplinary team is that we can be prepared to first identify those changes that are taking place and then be prepared to respond to them in a rapid fashion.
I was doing the bronchoscopy to put a camera in and look down the windpipe, and then the blood started coming up, and it was pretty quickly apparent that this was too much to be safe. So probably within 30 seconds, a minute, the obstetrician started doing the cesarean section. And as soon as the cesarean section was completed, the ECMO team started placing the lines to get her on the ECMO circuit, and she seemed to stabilize.
So the ECMO kind of is an artificial lung. It pulls blood out of the patient. The oxygenator provides oxygen to the blood, and it removes carbon dioxide from the blood, and then returns it back to the patient, so that the patient essentially doesn't need a lung to still survive. And we supported her for a few days on ECMO and allowed her lungs to heal. We have a very polished team who provides the ECMO service. It's our critical care intensivists as well as our cardiac surgeons.
We did all the things necessary to ensure that her airways and her lungs continue to recover in an integrated fashion, allow us to get her off the ECMO and ultimately get off the ventilator.
Memorial is one of the only systems in Florida that has an adult congenital heart service, and we work very closely with them and thoracic surgery and all the other services that we provide.
I do this for moments like this, where we're able to intervene and change somebody's life for the better. But the center of all of this was Heather. She's the patient and was an essential part of the team.
They're an amazing team as well. For them to have my back, it was a great relief. And it was nice to know that they were looking out for me, looking out for our family as a whole, and just making sure that all of us were healing emotionally, physically, and getting back to normal.